Ever since the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the introduction of Namor and his underwater kingdom of Talocan, there's been a lot of discussion whether that is in fact Marvel Studios' version of Atlantis or not. And the evidence is literally right in front of you that it is in fact not Atlantis. Okay, so we're gonna get a little nerdy here, so bear with me while I explain what I'm talking about, why any article you see on Marvel's Atlantis is absolutely wrong, and Marvel's Atlantis has not been revealed yet, and Namor is in fact not the king of Atlantis proper. So first and foremost, the story of Atlantis was first told in 360 BC by Plato. He described the founders of the city as half god and half human. He described their great naval power, the circular design of Atlantis, how it was linked by canals, and of course eventually how it sunk. It was also described as an island larger than Libya and Asia Minor put together. So once you take all this into account, and trust me, there's a lot more. Again, you guys know I love history. That's what I did when I went to school along with film. You start to realize that everything that happens in Black Panther Wakanda Forever with Namor and his kingdom cannot possibly be Atlantis just by how Atlantis was described. But on top of this, Atlantis was very much influenced by, and in the dumbest and easiest way to explain this would be Greek and Roman architecture. It has that style of look and design. Again, we see that nowhere in terms of design when it comes to Namor, his people, and his kingdom. And on top of this, we know for a fact that Namor has only been around for a few hundred years, and he was one of the first mutants, and him and his people founded Talocan. And that grew into a legend of its own that influenced the people of Mesoamerica. Meaning that Atlantis, the story of Atlantis told by Plato, predates Namor by close to 2,000 years. On top of this, Atlantis sank hundreds of years before Plato told the story, and the knowledge that was passed down to different civilizations. And again, if you look at geographical locations, most people believe that the original description focuses Atlantis being found somewhere beyond the Pillars of Gibraltar, or the Pillars of Hercules, whichever name you want to go by. And then if you take into account the whole Minoan belief thing, again, it has to place Atlantis over on the European side of the Atlantic Ocean, meaning it can't be in the Pacific. And the fact that they never outright mention Atlantis, and the fact that we still got the one Iron Man 2 Easter egg, which literally places Atlantis right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, kind of makes sense. And also, they were digging for, you guessed it, Wakanda in random parts of the Atlantic Ocean. We never found out exactly where. So again, they leave it very loose. And I think this is by design. We haven't seen Atlantis, and we will eventually, but how it's connected to Namor will be, at best, minimal. And if they really want, they could use the Lumerians there, and then it makes it even easier for them to explain how Namor is not connected to